How's it going, people? I'm Renee Cacciatore. I live happily with my famous actor husband, Damian Swan, my 3 beautiful daughters, Molly, Polly, and Dolly, and my really cool mother-in-law, Sonia. But the story isn't really about me. This here is my older cousin, and my best friend in the whole entire world, Nella Dish. She has always been there for me since our diaper days. 7 years ago, she and her husband Brad got hitched. Unlike her, it was his second marriage. He departed amicably with his ex-wife Farah Delight. They had a daughter and a son together. Farah had another man on the side, so she and her lover celebrated the kid's birthday together. But suddenly, Farah stopped by one time, crying her eyes out.
Farah darling, what's the matter?
That good-for-nothing left me for my best friend!
Gee willikers, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that.
Haley and Chris are at my parents' place, so can I please crash with you guys for a bit?
Anything for my darling ex-wife.
Hooray! Thanks, sweetie bear. You really are the best.
Later that weekend, they found out Nella was pregnant.
Looks like we're about to be parents.
Parents, you say? He already has a daughter and a son with me.
Yeah, but I'm his wife, you know.
Nella wanted to forget all about that crazy Farah, but she had the gall to make frequent visits to their house.
Ta, flippin' da! I brought cake.
Hoorah.
Farah could call Brad for all sorts of reasons.
Cuddle pup, we need to talk, like right now.
Oh no you don't, you tell her we're busy.
I'm sorry Nels, but I can't refuse her just like that.
No matter if it's day or night, she keeps calling and calling and calling. That's sure pissed Nella off even more.
Baby, I seriously need your help. Chris couldn't sleep again.
Don't worry honey, I'm on my way.
Nella's pregnancy was filled with complications, and she had to lie all the time.
So you want a vacation? We should take the kids to Disney World.
Sorry to tell you this, but Brad already took a vacation to help me after giving birth.
Bradley?
Bradley.
I agree with Farah. We really do need to take the kids to Disney World.
Aw, come on Brad, you know that I'm your wife, not that bonehead.
The worst part was that Farah actually went on the trip with them. And that idiot didn't tell her. 2 weeks later, Brad was a very different man. He was smiling more and more often, and all that came out of that dirty faucet of a mouth of his was Farah this, Farah that, blabbity blabbity blah Farah. She couldn't take it anymore.
Shut the duck up. Shut the ducking duck up. If you're like so good with Queen Farah, then why the hell did you let her go in the first place?
Well, actually, she dumped me. In the past, she cheated with one of my colleagues. Now that she's a free woman again, I'm sorry, but I wanted to get back together with her.
Wow. Not even once have you convinced me that I'm the one you love. That means you've been using me to cover the void left by your ex-wife.
That's right. Like I said, now that Farah's back in my life again, I have no more use for you. I want a divorce.
And with that, it was over. Nella had no choice but to leave and not get in the way of their true happiness anymore.
That's right! Farah Delight always wins.
I was taking my daily afternoon stroll around the town when I bumped into her. She looked very sad, her eyes puffy from crying for quite some time. Long time no see, cuzzy. How have you been? Congratulations on the baby anyway. Saying that, she started crying again. There, my lovely, you know what? Let me take you to your favorite restaurant, my treat.
Thanks, sweet pea. That's mighty thoughtful of you, because the baby is hungry.
After we got our food, Nella told me the whole story leading to her nasty divorce. What the hell is wrong with that man? Like Jiminy H. Christmas. I'm ashamed to have him as my cousin-in-law. In fact, I never liked him at all due to how sketchy he is.
Then they kicked me and my daughter out with nothing without a care, and now I have nowhere else to go.
I know, why don't you stay with us until you get back on your feet? We'll help with the baby as well. and that's how Nella ended up living with me and my family. We treated her with as much TLC as we possibly could. That's the least I could do. After all, she protected me from mean girls who mocked me for being diagnosed with autism all throughout our school lives. You know what's hilarious? The triplets would come to their cousin's room to sing and talk to the womb like it already existed. 3 weeks later, her daughters, you heard it right, her daughters were born.
Welcome Hope and Chastity.
Every other day we would take the girls out on our afternoon stroll, and they seemed to love it very much. Thanks to our help, Hope and Chastity grew up to be the perfect little girls.
Surely Temple's got nothing on us.
But then one day, an uninvited pest came for a visit. You've got some nerve setting foot in here after that nasty stunt you pulled on Nella, buddy boy.
But it's Farah. She cheated and dumped me once again. The worst part was that she stole all my savings before vanishing with my kids.
We don't care. Oh, better yet, bring her over here, right now.
But
Today, you loser.
Oh, and didn't I mention that I am a lawyer? And the best in the business. When it was time for Judge McHale to sentence that selfish couple to pay Nella for the damages, Farah instantly threw a fit, like a furious kindergartner getting dragged into a timeout area.
What? How come it is my responsibility to pay? If anything, Nella needs to reimburse me.
You just don't get it, do ya? The reason why Farah came back to Brad is that she got a little dose of her own medicine for cheating on him. But then she got jealous after hearing about him, quote, moving on with Nella. That is why she tricked him into losing interest in her, all in the name of getting her out of her way. I guess that's a reasonable explanation. As it was said earlier, Nella was used as Brad's ploy to get Farah back. And now, all their plans have backfired. Since Mr. Pianissimo has a well-paying job, he could easily pay Nella back all the money he owed in one lump sum. But Miss Farah, on the other hand, never had a proper job in her life, but now she's slumming it up at a local McDonald's, which she doesn't even like.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order?
With all that said, Nella got the justice she deserved. One time, we were happily discussing how fabulous Damien's movie was, but then we heard someone whistle sharply and said,
Man, Damien, who's that roaring flame with the golden locks?
We found out it was Benjamin Sourdough IV, Damien's best friend and agent.
Hey Ben, this is my cousin-in-law we've been talking about.
Nice to meet you, I'm Nella Dish. And these are my girls, Hope and Chastity.
Whoa, such beautiful names. My late grandma had that similar name as you.
Nella and Ben instantly became friends, and after a year and a half they became a couple. Unlike that loser Brad, his treatment of Nella was outstanding, and he gets along very well with the twins. And now, they're on their way on their honeymoon to Warner Brothers Movie World in Australia. And of course, they're bringing the girls. The end. Thanks for watching and subscribing to Jazz Clown Productions.